With season 20 of Axie Infinity coming to an end, you're probably wondering with yourself, should I be selling my Axies? What's around the corner? Is Origins coming? Well, in this video, I'm going to answer that and more. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm Blacked Out from Player vs. Meta, and let's get right into this video. So first, let's cover up what's happening next. Axie Infinity will be launching the soft launch of Origins. What that means is that you will not be earning SLP or anything from it. I'm going to kind of cover this Twitter post that they put out, and I'll also leave a link down below if you want to look at it yourself. All hands are on deck internally around the soft launch of Axie Origins. We want to provide some update around what our community should expect. The soft launch of Origins will come in phases. We will start with a small scope and gradually expand in the months after initial launch. First, Origins will be launched on desktop versions through Mavis Hub. This period will center around gathering vital feedback, testing scalability of our servers, and enabling our community to start adjusting to the new game mechanics. So what this is saying is that they're going to have the soft launch be on just PC originally, and then they're going to scale it up to be on the mobile devices as well. Next, roughly a month after release of Origins through desktop, we will launch Origin for Android through mobile APK. We decided to launch mobile separately to ensure our servers had enough capability to support millions of players. The reason why they're doing this is to make a more easy launch on PC. With PC users, there's a lot less PC users than there are mobile users. So they want to make it so the servers are more stable when they do decide to upgrade to go to mobile. And it's going to take them about a month to do that. So that means we won't be even seeing Origins for at least another month after this, or we're going to see the basics of Origins on PC, but we won't be seeing like any play to earn from it for at least 1 month. Once the mobile and desktop version are live, we'll work towards doing a full launch that also incorporates SLP rewards, NFT charms, runes, and has official season. So what this means is that it probably won't be at least 2 months before we actually see it. They're saying here that it's going to be launched onto PC first, then mobile, then they're going to do a full launch. With the full launch, it's probably going to take them another at least month and a half. So I would expect 2 to 3 months before we actually see a full launch. So that means we're probably going to have another season 21 that's going on in the same time while this is happening. That means you're not going to want to be selling your Axies now because there's going to be a whole nother season up ahead. If you have some very meta Axies and you think they're going to depreciate in value because of maybe changes, then maybe you want to sell them. But personally, I think just holding on to what you have is kind of what I would do. In parallel, we'll also be actively working towards making necessary tweaks to the game so that it gets approved and listed on Android and iOS devices. This is going to be huge. When they get it listed on both Android and iOS devices, that means it's going to be playable by the masses. There's going to be so many more players that will be able to play this game. It's going to increase the numbers, and it's also going to have a free-to-play model for someone that's starting out with it on the mobile stores. So there'll be people getting introduced into the game and then wanting to be like, oh, well, I want to learn more about cryptocurrency. Let me go buy an Axie so I can start earning some cryptocurrency. So this is a great on-ramp for players to hop into the game. Origin soft launch will have PvE story mode, runes, charms, training mode, and ranked mode. Over time, we will iterate and update to include features such as cosmetics, upgradable parts, tournaments, PvP seasons, and a roguelike game mode. So our starting off is just going to have ranked PvE mode, runes, charms, and training mode. I'm assuming through the PvE mode, you'll earn like moon shards to be able to make your runes and charms. And then ranked mode will probably be just like the PvP side. And then the upgradable parts are going to be something that's going to be huge. There'll be another SLP sync. You also have cosmetics, which will be an SLP sync. You also have the roguelike game mode, which is great because this is another introduction of a thing that's fun to play and that has replayability. So if you like the PvP mode, maybe you only want to do the PvP mode. But if you like the roguelike mode, it's going to be something similar to Slay the Spires. Slay the Spire has this like daily quest that you can do, and you can do it as many times as you want. But like it's this roguelike mode where you go through it, and if you die, then you have to restart it all over. So this may be something that like they're going to introduce. Axie Infinity is a community-driven ecosystem. Your feedback is the key to ensure that we upgrade and improve Origins in a thoughtful and data-driven manner. We couldn't be more excited to share Origins with all of you. Thank you for participating. We're eagerly anticipating the next phase of our collective journey. This is really huge. I'm very excited for Origins. I think it's going to bring a lot of new life and blood into the game. It means more people will have access to it, and this is always a great thing. The more accessible it is, the bigger it's going to be. Another few things to note as well. The community is making a few game modes as well. There's a kart racing mode. There's like the Dota style gameplay mode, which is coming. There's also like a Super Smash Bros. Coming as well. So the 3 new games are being built in the ecosystem, which just adds more playability to the ecosystem. The whole goal here is to build more and more. So there's always replayability, whether you like Axie Infinity style card game, or whether you like to play Super Smash Brothers, or whether you like a racing game. They're going to have as much replayability for you as in one spot, and that's really great. Warcraft 2 did things like this in the past, where they end up making Dota from it. So this is just another cool way to incorporate the whole ecosystem and to keep building with it. I'm very much in favor of it. And then just a few more little points to note out about Origins if you don't know how it's going to work. The way that the fighting system is going to work is it's going to go in phases. Right now in Axie Infinity, you play your cards, I play my cards, and the cards go off at the same time. So this can happen where like you lose your frontliner when your opponent plays 3 cards on you, or your opponent speeds up faster than you and then you can't do anything the next turn. There's always a bunch of stuff that like can happen, and it makes it kind of more frustrating. Well, now your turns are going to happen one after another. So I'll play 1 card, you play 1 card. I play 1 card, you play 1 card. So it's going to happen one after another, which I think is a lot better because it means you can kind of counteract what your opponent's going to do, and you can think a couple steps ahead to be able to prepare and to get yourself a little bit better off. So Jiho put out like official statement on his Twitter about how season 21 as well. And I think this is good news, or this confirms kind of what I was saying. We know many of you are interested in the future of this classic battle mode as we prepare to shift towards Axie Infinity Origins. Right now, we plan to have a 1-month off season before moving on to season 21, which should likely be the last season for Axie Infinity Classic. What this is saying, really, it kind of proves it. So if we're going into a 1-month off season, and then we're going into another season. Most seasons are around 40 days. So 1 month off, on for 1 month. That will be over 2.5 months. Then probably another month off. So that'll be 3 months. So probably 3.5 months before we'll see Origins release and have some type of SLP earning in it. So that's kind of just my basic estimate of how long it's going to take before we see Origin based off of what he's saying here. Last thing I wanted to cover was my thoughts about runes and charms here. So just looking at this, we can kind of see how there's rarity here. There's rare charm and then mystic. It says it even itself that it's a higher grade charm. This looks like it's going to be what Axie it's required to be played on. So like a Dawn Axie, a neutral Axie, which means any Axie can play it. This probably represents the season that it's going to be played. This number is the only thing I'm confused about. I'm not sure if it's going to be the number of like mana it requires. Like maybe this is the mana that it requires for it. Like it's going to require 5. This is like kind of the mana here. Or if it's going to be the amount of pureness that the Axie requires. So it may require 5 pureness to be able to use this. I'm not actually sure about that, but it's definitely interesting because it also, because you have things that like gives all teammates gain 1 leaf, gain 1 rage, 5 vulnerability for 2 turns. If they are like another set of cards that you can draw, that'll be pretty interesting. And then they cost a different type of currency. That might be interesting. But we can see here, just by looking at this, we're going to be able to see our opponent's mana, their cards. I'm guessing their runes as well. And then whatever this is, whether it's the rage or whether it's the energy for these style of runes here. It seems like they might be able to stack it up. So like if you don't play something 1 turn, you might be able to stack it up some more, which would be really cool. With what we know now, it's probably not best to start buying too many Axies built around Origins, just because who knows what's going to happen and what's going to change with them. So anything you're speculating now may get completely changed. So it's probably safer to just keep kind of building either budget teams that you're going to play for the future and, you know, have kind of some type of longevity for them, or just kind of get yourself meta teams if you're playing for the meta. If you find this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.